Welcome to Meditation for Inner Peace. When you're ready, come to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands together. Let your eyes remain closed and your hands rest down to a comfortable position. First, bring your attention to your breath. Be aware of the pace of inhalation and exhalation. Drawing the senses into the subtlety of inner experience. Allowing the mind to tune into all of the sensations of the inflowing and the outgoing breath. Let your breath be natural and normal, and for a moment, choose not to judge or tell any stories about the breath. If you notice your breath is deep, let it be deep. If you notice your breath is shallow, let it be shallow. Rest in the calm, abiding presence that is simply aware of the breath, as it naturally unfolds, as it comes in and out of your body. Bringing the mind to a focal point inside the nostrils, along the upper lip, and on your nose. Allow yourself to feel the breath on this small area of attention. Let no sensation of the breath be too small, too ordinary, or too mundane, and instead just be totally engrossed, focused, enveloped in the sensation of your breath. Notice the temperature, the rhythm, the pace, the placement of your breath. Allow your mind to be free from any value judgments, so remain neutral, calm, objective. As you refrain from telling any stories about the breath, the simple purity of the breath is freed to be exactly as it is. Your mind practices resting on the reality of the breath as it naturally unfolds, free from value judgments, free from the story of good or bad. There may be a tendency to prefer one style of breath, one temperature, one rhythm. As soon as the preference is created, there is a story that's told around the goodness or the badness of a breath. But the reality is that the breath is neither good nor bad. It is simply the breath. Free your mind from the stories that you tell about reality and just observe. Remain neutral, objective, equanimous. As your breath naturally moves in and out of your body, let your mind simply be aware. Inhalation, exhalation, warm or cool, deep or shallow, right side or left side, the breath as it is. And in the space of objective awareness, there is freedom and deep peace. By giving the breath permission to be as it is, your mind rests in the center line between attachment and aversion, between pleasure and pain. As your mind reaches a still point, drop your attention down into the spiritual heart. Find the space behind the sternum and rest your mind here for a moment. Down in the chambers of the spiritual heart, there may be the burdens of life situations around you. Perhaps you're surrounded by stress. Perhaps your heart feels heavy. Perhaps there is sadness. Perhaps there is lightness and joy. Perhaps there is the sense of freedom. Whatever is simply is. Deep in the channels of the spiritual heart, practice acceptance. Accept what is, without trying to fight against it, without trying to make it go away. Simply observe. Sadness is present. Anger is present. Joy is present. Happiness is present. Whatever emotion arises as though it's bubbling forth from the innermost chambers of the heart, remain equanimous and choose peace, for whatever emotion arises is simply arising like clouds rolling through the open expanse of the sky. There is no good nor bad cloud, it simply is. Whether it is a small cloud or a rainstorm, sooner or later it will pass. But unlike the field of the sky, in the heart, as soon as you tell the story of whether something is good or bad, your attention makes it stay. So instead, choose equanimity, choose the path of peace. Whatever is simply is. Choose not to fuel the fire of any negative emotions, and at the same time, choose not to try to hold on to any overwhelmingly positive emotions. Instead, let whatever is simply be, and observe, cultivating perfect equanimity. No matter what happens around you, no matter how intense your life situation may be, you always have the ability to remain equanimous and observe. You always have the choice of peace. Whenever you find yourself in a field of chaos, bring the mind to the breath, cultivating equanimity, and then drop your attention into the spiritual heart, becoming aware of the emotions that sit there, whether positive or negative, is the step that you can take today to build a bridge towards a more peaceful life. Choose peace, choose equanimity, and carry that seed of peace deeply in the garden of your heart. Bring your hands gently together. May I be peaceful. May I be equanimous. May all beings throughout time and space be happy, be peaceful, be free from suffering.